I think sexuality is becoming more diverse than it has been, for the most part.
You got Singapore as a melting pot of the world. Sioux Falls is, Great Plains melting pot.
It's more, like I said, conservative side. Some people are open, but not as open as in bigger cities.
I'd have to say there's not a lot of prejudice. You pretty much go where you go and do what you do, and you don't have any worries. I've never run across any here.
It's Nathan,
And Malika,
and we are here at Sioux Falls.
we are at Sioux Falls, in Sioux Falls.
Literally at the falls. I think behind us you can see Sioux Falls in Sioux Falls. And for those who don't know where Sioux Falls it's in the great state of
It's in South Dakota.
South Dakota.
We're here to talk about some pretty important stuff.
A lot's been happening in South Dakota.
Yeah. So there was an abortion ban that folks tried to pass, and there were lots of community folks and Planned Parenthood folks who fought that ban.
And so we are going to be talking with some of them about what exactly happened and how they successfully overturned that ban. Because I know a lot of people were watching South Dakota as a state to kind of determine what could happen in their states, too, if their states decided to pass an abortion ban. In March of 2006, the South Dakota legislature passed a bill into law that outlawed virtually all abortions. But before the ban could go into effect, over 38,000 signatures were collected to give the people of South Dakota a chance to directly vote on the law during the 2006 elections. In the meantime, opponents of abortion descended on South Dakota. Their objective was to keep the ban in place so that it could eventually work its way to the Supreme Court and overturn Roe v. Wade.
We had one gentleman in particular that was here every day, that had a video camera, that was yelling things. This man was rude and obnoxious and yelled and took all of our license plates and put them on his website. That was probably the most scary part, because we're all from Sioux Falls or from South Dakota, and we're just not used to that.
While anti-choice protesters were busy trying to intimidate staff and patients, another set of activists were working to educate South Dakotans about the ballot initiative that would overturn the abortion ban. The Campaign for Healthy Families was a coalition of activists and organizations that organized a grassroots campaign of phone banks, community canvassing, petition signing, public education, and encouraging voter turnout. We met with Aaron and Mandy, two of the field organizers with the Campaign for Healthy Families.
One of the first nights that we were working phone banking, we got on and you'd get phone calls to people who were on the 180 degrees difference from you. It makes you realize why you're doing what you're doing. And so it was, people like this that got this bill introduced in South Dakota in the first place. And, we had an opportunity to get the whole public and, all South Dakotans to say how they really feel. And, we did.
I'm wondering, as an activist, if you have any advice for people. Oftentimes when these issues come up, we are oftentimes playing defense, or we're always responding to the next crisis. Is there anything that people can do to be proactive?
If I could give advice to young activists, it would be to just be very persistent and very self-educated, and just really follow the news, get on the action alerts, get on all that sort of stuff, and also just engage your peers and make sure that you're trying to build a base before a catastrophe. That would be my advice.
On November 7th, 2006, the South Dakota abortion ban was repealed by a vote of the people.
And I think the one thing that the ban did do is it made our staff that much more compassionate and caring, and really realize what we're all here for. Because we wouldn't do what we do every day and go through all of that, and the community perception and them standing there every day and taking our license plate number. We wouldn't do that if we weren't really committed to what we do.
This is a social justice issue. There will always be people, women, who can afford to travel long distances to access safe and legal abortion, or any other health care for that matter. And then there will be people who are completely left out of that because they cannot possibly afford to travel those long distances. And when you would remove that right from an entire state and require those women to travel maybe 1, maybe 2, sometimes 3 states in order to access it, depending on what the domino effect might be from an abortion ban. You're talking about massive percentages of the population that would be completely excluded from a safe and legal healthcare alternative.
We are leaving Sioux Falls and South Dakota tomorrow on our way through Minnesota, through Wisconsin, to Illinois, to the great city of Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. I'm looking forward to Chicago.
Yeah.
So, Midwest, here we come. Here we stay. Here we go. See you in Chicago.